When I was pregnant with my twins, I was encouraged to create a birth plan, but I found the whole process so overwhelming. Back then, I didn't know as much about birth as I do now, and I wish I'd had more guidance and information to help me. After all, birth can be so unpredictable. How could I possibly plan for it? Now, after helping countless mothers create their birth plans, I've seen firsthand how this simple yet powerful tool can make a world of difference. A birth plan isn't about controlling every detail. It's about clearly outlining your preferences so your healthcare team understand what matters most to you. So let's break it down step by step. First of all, what is a birth plan? So a birth plan is a written document that communicates your preferences for labour, delivery and postpartum care. It covers everything from your pain management choices to how you'd like your baby to be cared for immediately after birth. Think of it as a guide for your support team, your healthcare provider, midwife, partner or doula to ensure your wishes are honoured as much as possible. But remember, birth can be unpredictable. While a birth plan helps everyone understand your preferences, flexibility is key because the priority is always your and your baby's health. Creating a birth plan helps you feel more informed and confident about the decisions you might face during labour. It also ensures your care team knows your values and goals, especially if things move quickly or if you're unable to fully communicate your needs during labour. A birth plan can also reduce misunderstandings. Instead of trying to explain your preferences in the heat of the moment, you've already done the groundwork. It's a great way to advocate for yourself while building trust with your team. Let's look at the key components you'll want to include in your birth plan. So 1, labour preferences. Labour is a very personal experience and how you feel during it can affect the process. Think about the environment you want to create. Would you like dim lighting, soft music or complete silence? Do you want to use tools like a birthing ball or a TENS machine or a birthing pool? It's also helpful to include preferences for movement and positions during labour. So some people prefer walking, swaying or using a birthing stool, while others might want to labour lying down or in water. 2, pain management. Pain relief options vary widely, so it's important to outline your preferences. Some people opt for an epidural, while others prefer to use natural methods like breathing techniques, hypnobirthing or massage. You can also include instructions on what to do if you change your mind. For instance, you might plan for a natural birth but want the option for an epidural if pain becomes too overwhelming. Letting your care team know how you feel about these possibilities can reduce stress during labour. And 3, your support team. So decide who you want in the room during labour. This might include your partner, a doula, a family member or even a close friend. It's helpful to specify each person's role. For example, your partner might focus on providing emotional support, while your doula helps advocate for your preferences. If there are people you do not want in the room, include that in your plan as well. 4, medical interventions. So this section is about your preferences for interventions like induction, breaking of your waters, continuous monitoring, or assisted delivery with forceps or a vacuum. For example, you might want to avoid induction unless medically necessary, or you might be open to intermittent monitoring instead of being hooked up continuously. If you feel strongly about any of these interventions, make sure to include them, but remember that flexibility is crucial if complications arise. 5, delivery preferences. For the actual birth, think about your priorities. For instance, if possible, do you want delayed cord clamping to allow more blood to flow to your baby? Or do you want immediate skin-to-skin contact to encourage bonding and regulate the baby's temperature? If a cesarean becomes necessary, you can include preferences for the procedure, such as having your partner present, a clear drape to watch the baby being born, or playing your chosen music in the operating room. 6, post-birth preferences. So this section covers how you'd like your baby to be cared for immediately after birth. Do you plan to breastfeed or bottle feed, or a combination? Would you like your baby's first bath delayed to preserve the natural vernix on their skin? You can also specify whether you consent to newborn procedures like the vitamin K injection, eye drops, or heel prick blood tests. It's important to emphasise that your birth plan isn't set in stone. Labour and delivery can be unpredictable, and it's okay if things don't go exactly as planned. This is why discussing your plan with your midwife or doctor during prenatal appointments is so important. They can provide feedback on what's feasible and help you understand how your preferences might align with their protocols. When writing your plan, use positive and collaborative language. For example, instead of saying something like, I don't want an epidural, you could try, I prefer to use natural pain management techniques but will request an epidural if needed. This approach invites open communication and reduces tension. So here are a few tips to make the process easier. Start simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Stick to key points and avoid adding too much detail. Templates are a great way to structure your plan and ensure you cover all the important areas. Ask yourself questions. What makes you feel calm and safe? How do you feel about pain management? Are there specific cultural or personal preferences that you want to honour? And then share your plan. Make sure your partner, doula, or any other support person has a copy of your plan. It's also a good idea to share it with your healthcare provider well in advance to ensure everyone's aligned. So what if your healthcare provider disagrees with parts of your birth plan? This is why early conversations are so important. If your provider raises concerns, try to understand their perspective and work together to find a solution. And remember, if things don't go as planned, it's not a failure. Birth is unpredictable, and the ultimate goal is a healthy baby and a safe experience for you. Your birth plan is a tool to guide the process, not a measure of success. Creating a birth plan can feel overwhelming, but it's such an empowering step in preparing for your baby's arrival. By thinking about your preferences ahead of time, you're setting yourself up for a calmer, more positive birth experience. If you're ready to dive deeper into creating your perfect birth plan, head over to my website, themumbodpt.com. I've written an ebook all about birth plans that guides you step by step through the process and includes evidence-based tips. You'll also find a downloadable birth planner that makes organising your thoughts super simple. Check it out and let me know how it helps you. Don't forget to leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Mumbod PT.